I've been spelling that wrong in my whole life. No,
What
kids, that's not how you spell it. Wait.
Wait a minute.
God damn.
Have I been wrong this whole time? No.
No.
It's the kids that are wrong. The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Pumpkin season is upon us. The gaming dads are transitioning from our summer ways into fall, and in so doing, we are looking at our beer picks of the week, but with very much just a pumpkin theme for the next couple of weeks. We're diving in, we're putting on a brave face. This doesn't always work out great, but I'll say we've got we had one or two great suggestions from listeners and friends of the show. It's been a little difficult to find some pumpkin beers. I do wonder if it's very much a local thing. Like your local brewery will do something crazy with their pumpkins, but they don't want to, ship it across the country.
We don't want to ship it out to other people. We'll just keep this here. That's where this is going to go.
This is a friends and family only type of beer. And for instance, we had Bill from A Gamer Looks at 40, good friend of the show. Gamer Looks at 40, an excellent podcast to check out as we all march towards that lovely 4-0 age. Jeff had posted this week, you had 2 pumpkin beers you'd picked up.
Yeah.
That one of which you'll sample. We'll leave that as your actual review. But Bill responds from A Gamer Looks at 40. The big question is, do they taste like pumpkin or pumpkin pie? That's interesting. Are you taking just a pumpkin out of the patch and biting into it like a savage?
Right.
Or are you have you cooked it deliciously in a pie and added 4 quarts of sugar just to make sure it actually is edible?
Some whipped cream and everything, yeah.
Yeah. 80% of pumpkin beers aim for the latter, and I'm usually okay with that. And pro tip, try pumpkin stouts. The combination of roast chocolate / coffee notes go really well with the nutmeg, cinnamon, etc. in the style.
Huh.
Now, funny story, one of the ones you did pick up, and I also happen to pick up by pure coincidence, although you're not drinking it this week. This is Big Rig Tales from the Patch Pumpkin Porter, per Bill's suggestion. The interesting thing with this beer is it's from a semi-famous hockey player for the Ottawa Senators, whose nickname was Big Rig. He's now created this beer company, which honestly, it really produces some good beers.
Okay.
I'm looking at one here called Big Rig Gold. That's really good. That's a really nice beer. So if you can see it, I do worry it's a bit local to Canada in Ontario, but if you happen to find it, so be it. So the one, Tales from the Patch, spiced porter. We start with a dark porter that uses a careful blend. I was reading this carefully. It uses a careful blend of specialty malts designed to create flavors of honey and graham crackers, complemented by a rich addition of milk sugar. We then infuse a cornucopia of spices so that it tastes like homemade pumpkin pie with whipped cream, only better because it's beer.
There's that pumpkin pie.
Yeah,
Bill's talking, so
I am really enjoying it. I think very much though. You could have almost handed this to somebody, and I think they would note that this is a pretty nice porter. Or I'll even say this is a good porter. Oh, it's weird. It almost has a aftertaste or a hint of pumpkin.
Oh,
That's kind of where this is falling, where it's very much an excellent porter, and then just all of a sudden you notice this like subtle pumpkin kind of coming around to round it out.
right.
Which as far as like your autumn treats, not a bad way to go about it, I suppose. So if you are looking to have a subtle walk-in to the pumpkin season with beer, this would very much be up your alley. So there wasn't so much serendipity that you also had this one this week. Instead, you went with the other one you picked up. Why don't you tell us what you're drinking there tonight, Jeff?
This is more not a subtle walk into the season, but more of a pile driver into a pumpkin patch. I am drinking Lake of Bays pumpkin ale, and it's okay. So there's feelings on this one, and I was telling, like, in our pre-show, we were double checking that we had our beers. I'm like, well, I got it. It's an empty can. And there's a reason why there's an empty can is that I could not finish this.
No
I couldn't
way.
do it. There's
What a
no,
sin. Are you kidding me?
I can't do it. I'm even smelling it right now. I don't like it. Which
Wow.
again, no offense to the company, obviously, but it is. I think it's the wheat beer in it. It just doesn't. It doesn't taste like pumpkin pie like what we had suggested to us. It's more like if you took your mouth and went inside a pumpkin and just took a big bite. It's more like that kind of taste. It's that weird pumpkins all around it. They say on the back, like, to celebrate sweater weather with this refreshing malt forward ale featuring Magnum and Fuggles hops, pumpkin, vanilla, and spice, and subtle notes of nut and caramel make this an ideal partner for harvest fare. Meh. I don't know. It's not for me. Might be
Not
for
your
you.
cup of tea.
I don't know.
I can't, like, that's stunning. I can't believe I've had some lousy beers in my time, but it is rare to pour it out. That's a big move.
Well, I was talking with my wife about it, and she's looking at me and she's like, "Oh my God, it's been a while since you've poured one." I'm like, "I know, this is going down the drain. I can't do it. I don't know. It doesn't taste great." I'm looking forward to the other one.
Yeah, your kids are huddling. Is Dad gonna be okay? I don't know, son. I don't know.
Don't show him any pumpkins. He doesn't need that right now. But yes,
Mike,
one big splash into the season.
swing and a miss. Okay, so we
Yeah.
got Big Rig, Tales from the Patch, a pumpkin porter, which did a very fine job, and unfortunately, pumpkin ale from Lake of Bays Brewing Co.
Just wasn't
Seems
for me.
like a miss for gaming dads. So speaking of taking risks, let's speak about a quick update around my skateboarding journey.
Oh yeah,
And
you're still in
No,
one
Ellie-
piece. That's a good update. So
still walking, nothing broken just yet. We had a pretty big session today, which was fun. The reason I brought it up, it was such a dad move of mine, where with an ollie, like, you kind of take your back foot and you slam it down, board kind of goes up, and then you're supposed to imagine if you had your shoe flat on the ground.
okay.
And you kind of you're supposed to kind of flip it over so that the top of your shoe is almost kind of sliding along the board.
This is far
Right?
too
It
complicated.
kind of hits the board. So you're basically, there's a part of the move where you slide the top side of your shoe against the
Yeah.
sandpaper that is on the top of the board, basically, right?
Okay.
That really wears down your shoe.
Oh
Right?
no.
So you'll see skaters where they'll have like holes in it because they just do it so often.
Yeah.
And my dad realization is like, oh, these are nice shoes my wife got me. I can't do this.
Right.
So I stopped practicing all these until I could get new shoes.
I mean,
So here's this like 38-year-old man at a skate park with his son, and I have full gear on. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mess around. Look, I could care less. I've never been cool. I'm not about to start now.
Yeah.
So head to toe gear. And the thoughts running through my head is like, oh, my wife bought me these shoes and these are very nice, so I better not practice ollieing until I can get some garbage shoes. So if you want to know how skateboarding's going, that's where I'm
That's
at.
a valid concern though. Like, you don't want to wreck the good shoes if it's just gonna shred the bottom of them. So
I wonder what the age is. It's probably when you start to buy your own shoes. As you're coming up, that thought hits your mind, because I can remember just tearing through shoes as a kid, and my
Oh.
kids currently, like, we got them. The state of my kids' shoes after one day,
yeah.
brand new, and came back, and it's just coming apart at the seams. And these are not like cheap, like awful, like garbage quality shoes. But it's what war did you go through to possibly have this much wear on it? So what is the transition where all of a sudden it's shoe wear and their upkeep? It's like,
Yeah.
now I'm a man, now
Yeah.
I'm a dad, because I care about these things.
This is gonna cost me money. I might not do this anymore.
So that's my cool dude skater dad
Hey,
update of it.
It's still out there, man. It's good.
Yeah, well, they're starting to do some. Otherwise, like, it gave me time to like practice ramps and things. But there was a fantastic post. It turns out that this genre of older people kind of getting into skateboarding later.
Yeah.
There's some videos on it. There's some fun articles about it. The one guy's talking about his experience, and he says one of the worst parts you'll have is you'll show up at a skate park and everybody kind of starts to keep an eye on you, because like, oh, look at this guy. He's been skating forever. I can't wait to see what he can do. To which you know, through your abilities, you're like, no. I know nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so bad.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry to disappoint, but like this is not years of experience. This is just years, and I'm trying to experience something.
Yeah. They don't think that you're like an undercover bylaw officer. Like, hey, look at me, guys. And
Oh.
they're like, all right, you're out.
I should grow a mustache. I would look like such a narc. It'd be great.
Take a pocketbook or something and just take it out, start writing.
Some aviators and a mustache should be good.
Yeah. Play it up.
No. So that one involves me falling flat all over the place as I try to learn this thing. Jeff, you had a game fall flat for you.
Yeah. Add a recommendation of yourself. So
Well, great. This is off to a real combative start.
yeah, human fall flat. You mentioned maybe last episode or a few episodes ago that you bought it and your kids loved it, and it's kind of this goofy game where they're kind of pillowy characters that you're trying to get through a level almost cooperatively to try and get well, at least that's the focus.
Theoretically, cooperatively.
Right. And you just have a goofy time. So I'm like, you know what? It's on sale this week. I think it was like $8. Let's try it out and see what the kids do with it, right? I didn't really research it too much, and that was probably my obviously my fault. But I thought it was more than just 2-player local. So that was the first hurdle. We couldn't do 3-player
What?
local.
Dang.
So I sat one out. After I did the
You take this one, kids.
yeah, after I did the small tutorial, just to see how it is, and then the next player could join in. And my God, I don't think they passed that next stage because they were whipping each other over the edge of the screen. Like they were just grabbing onto each other. Like one had the other one in a chokehold and was ramming them over this bench over into the sky that you fall and then you come down, fall flat on the next part. It was just chaos, man. Like my kids were laughing, and then they were starting to get like, oh no, this isn't gonna happen to me. And they would grab each other and just literally, like, those old Stretch Armstrongs where you would pull the toy and it was this big elastic thing. That's what they were doing to each other. They were just pulling each other in this game, trying to break each other's like sanity.
No, but I would ask, that sounds like they were having fun. Like, was did that degrade into fisticuffs like pretty quickly?
It kind of went like ha ha ha, and then okay, stop it, okay, stop it, like, you know what I mean? And then the attitude changed and I could see it happen. I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna have to cut this off. So I think we lasted 20 minutes. I think it was 20 minutes before things started to turn on us, but they did have a good time. I will say it's a good game. It's very easy to pick up, and it's kind of goofy you can't really master it because things are just so like floaty, right? As they're meant to be.
It's really frustrating. It's unbelievably frustrating because like you just feel like you should be able to pull yourself up, and your little Jello boy does not.
Yeah, you can, and it reminded me of Octodad. If you've ever played that one, that was kind of a cool premise like this. So I think there's a future in this game. Just a forewarning, any dads picking this up, there is like that kind of. It's not supposed to be competitive, but it seemed like to them this was their time to wrestle each other without, parents saying you're going to hurt yourself. They're like, well, it's in the game. We can do whatever we want. But, and we'll try to figure out the 3rd-player thing because we have a PS4, which I downloaded, I guess, 2 versions of this game. There's a PS5 version, which I found out, obviously, you can't use your PS4 controllers on. So that was kind of a hurdle. So I'm working on the old game, and we might hook up the 2 systems, see if we can get this going.
Okay.
But they have a lot of friends that play this too.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So we're going to see how that works, and if it doesn't devolve into like, this isn't fair, you're not letting me win, the standard conversation. So, but no, it's a fun little game, and I will say your recommendation, it did work out a little bit. It's just...
It was close. It was good.
I was hoping for a little bit more of the joy to last longer, but it's totally on my kids that happened. So
yeah, it's funny to hear like when my 2 play it, to hear them
the goof
just
around.
they're screaming and they're squelching, and it's just the funniest thing to see them. And then they're trying to like call each other, like push each other on, and I just really liked. It feels a little too difficult for them, but I really liked the non-linear nature of it.
Yeah.
Where sure, you could go into the catapult and jump over there, but you could also just grab those 4 boulders and bring them over, and then you'll stumble up. If you can get your guy to glitch, like he'll fly up, you can finish it. There's just a few avenues to get through stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's no hint or suggestion about what the heck you're supposed to do.
No, there is not.
So you're kind of just in this world and bumbling. I don't know how yours are probably better. There's quite a bit of fidelity I found.
Yeah.
In trying to, how are you actually going to climb up the wall, like carry this thing here, like bring your teammate with you.
Yeah. Like my oldest was like hopping walls and glitching through stuff. And my youngest was like, no, move this box and there's a crack in the wall that you can get through. Like he's the one that's trying to like, no, what are you doing?
Do it right.
Yeah. They got squished by there's like a train car. The other one pinned the other one in that and then squished him. So that's where things got a little serious.
And that's when things got brought up to a fever pitch.
So the new dad gaming hat came on and I had to step in and, all right, dad's going to play for a little bit and school both of you. So.
Oh, there's God, I had my kids cracking up because there was this elevator in the one section of it, and I was able to like drop this like elevator joke I had in my back pocket.
Oh,
and they're just like, it's always so great because like, man, like why I love elevator jokes?
Why?
Because they work on every level.
I
I really got to get a soundbite for when I do.
Always a soundbite every single week. Is that dad joke? It's coming in.
It's always coming. You just never know. Now so that's you playing games with your kids.
Yeah.
One of the thing I'm fascinated by this is there's a game that came out. You had no interest in touching it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry, you really wanted to touch it in many ways, but you just don't have time for that.
Yeah,
Dad ain't got time for that.
Right.
So you found yourself living vicariously through streamers.
Yeah.
In watching it. So like now I really enjoy streamers. Like I've watched quite a few of them. But Fortnite or Hearthstone or chess or like some various other kind of bars. But this is you actively watching streamers play a game that you want to see them beat because you won't have time to play it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like this weird contradiction, right? Because they're going to play through the game and it's going to take X amount of time. So let's say 40 hours. So essentially I'm doing the 40 hours worth of work, but it's something about the mental capacity of, and I'll just explain this game in particular. It's Pathfinder, Right of the Righteous, something like the Wrath of the Righteous.
Yeah,
there's two
Pathfinder,
of them.
Wrath of the Righteous.
Okay, so and it's the newest iteration out, and it's kind of a Dungeons and Dragons style CRPG. So it's like a top-down. You can rotate the camera. All your enemies and characters, they do dice rolls that you don't see, but it's all those stat keeping things and what works with what and how to balance it all out. And it's all very interesting to me. I just don't have the time to kind of go through and finely tweak things so that it works, because this game will punish you if you're not at a certain not level, because you can't really grind to get to levels to defeat the game. It's more about what complements each other, and do you have the attributes in the right setting, and what are each other's roles and how do they play out, right? So I think it's something about just leaning on the couch, watching it, doing something else while I'm watching it, and not expressing that like mental energy to go through all that, but still enjoy the game, because I really do like these kind of top-down CRPGs, but I don't want to spend all that time trying to get there, if that makes sense. And I don't really like the streamer's voice. I just like the game.
Oh no. Okay, hold on, but like to the point where you would mute the streamer
No.
or find the gameplay video where it's like no commentary?
No, just like a streamer that's not so active in trying to entertain the chat, if that makes sense. So more about the game, like, oh, why didn't that work? And oh, I should have dumped it into this, whatever.
Sorry, like check it on stream. We're recording this live, which goes to YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah.
Of all the sections for us to choose, the heroes of this Pathfinder mission have just entered upon the feast room with strippers on all the tables. Daddy, what are those people do? Why are those people dancing in their underwear?
I have not got to this part, but
go Go to your room. But it's okay, folks. The Minotaur just entered the room, so they're going to be battling it.
Totally fantastical.
We're gonna...
But yeah, it's not for kids to watch. But I'll find myself, instead of watching, I don't know, regular Netflix or whatever, I'll throw this on and just watch it kind of tick by as I'm, reading a blog or sketching on in my sketchbook or something. I don't know, just something mindless. Even doing the dishes, I have this on in the background. And it's just something that I haven't really done before. I don't know. It just seemed like a waste to me. If you're going to do something, you might as well play it. But no, I totally get it. I totally get where that space is. Like, if you need that rest, and this is what that kind of fills, but you still like enjoy the game, that's cool. I'm down for it now. I just didn't understand it before. So that's where I'm coming from.
Now, so is your intention to watch through the entire campaign and just see like how this game ends?
Yeah, because it's got a good narrative to it. So I don't think I'd watch it if it was kind of like this, one and done battles thing and it's restarting all the time. But it's a whole narrative campaign that I kind of want to see from beginning to end, and then done. Like, that's it. 'Cause you can play this thing through many different times, many different characters and roles and stuff. Not doing that, but I would like to see the ending of it and not have to actually play it. Because it is a giant game. It's like 100 hours. It's like another Witcher 3 to me, and I'm not going to go through that. I'm not ready for that yet. I haven't recovered, so I'm not ready. I'm not mentally ready there.
I just can't put myself out there just yet. I've been hurt. I've been hurt before. I just don't know if I can.
Still coming down from that, so no, I can't do it. So, and I think it's okay to recognize that you can't play these types of games, but still kind of partake in that enjoyment in other ways. So whether it's watching a YouTube video of the ending or watching a playthrough, right? Like, it's just something that satisfies whatever that is.
The YouTube ending thing has been key to my gaming dad life, because I'll play the game. Like, I used to love getting like the best ending, the perfect ending. Yep. So okay, you collected every other quest, you finished all the side quests, like for Mass Effect, for instance, like finishing everybody's side quest. Although that's a terrible example because there was no good ending, no matter what. But choose your own, whatever. Yeah. So Final Fantasy X, for instance, or X-2, which that's a dangerous one because I like X-2.
I did not.
That is not a popular opinion.
Right. No, but you can roll with that, or.
But you can get, and spoiler alert for anyone who actually would care, ultimately you can get the two main characters from the first game back together if you do like everything perfect, if it's like 100%. And I think that's probably one of the only games I'd actually pushed through like 3 times just to get to that 100%, to like fill up the meter. Wow. Game plus, so I could just get it. So I could get that end because I wanted that ending. It's like, no, like the reason I played this game is because the first game ended with the two characters I wanted to be together being apart.
Right.
And you're telling me if I do everything, I can get them back together in this game and conclude the story in my mind.
They really did that with X2 or X-2? I did not know that.
Oh, sorry.
You said spoiler, but like that kind of, I'm not going to go on the tangent, but kind of defeats the purpose of the first. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like, it is very, the amount of stuff you have to do to get to to complete everything before they'll give you the payoff ending is intense. Like, it's a lot of stuff. That was a lot of like old school message boards to figure out how the heck to find everything.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah.
But so worth it. It's one of my greatest gaming memories as far as like achieving that thing. So for me, like what's been great with streamers and also just on YouTube, where I'll go through a game, Dad don't got time to do this 3 or 4 more times, so quickly type out whatever game it is, best ending or all endings. Right. Like, just give me the highlight reel. What else happens? Yep. I'm not playing this game again. Like, let's go.
Yeah, and again, I'll relate that to Witcher 3. I'm not going through 80 to 100 hours again because I didn't select a conversation that was at the beginning of the game to get the, I think there's 4 or 5 different endings. So yeah, I'm going to watch that YouTube reel on like, oh, okay. So I got one that was okay and it sat well with me, but these are these other ones that I'm never going to do in game. Like, there's no way I'm going to try and go through because they're literal, like, you have to do the whole run again unless you have save points at certain areas. So I'm on board. Dad don't got time. I'm on board.
It's a great time to be a gaming dad for that reason, where it's just like the content exists out there. Other people have done the work, be it streamers, be it YouTube videos, just the highlights, the clips.
Yeah.
Good time for us to be out there.
I think so. Working for me.
Yeah, so it's kind of curious because I recently re-downloaded Fortnite and had a few matches. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, hold on, Pro.
Let's get the Fortnite career going. I'm not too late. I can win some tournaments.
Have you heard of this new game, Fortnite?
Yeah. All the kids are playing this game, Fortnite. I'm gonna get in it. But part of it was just watching some streamers, and I said that the one streamer I really like on Twitch, Poison, he is critically underfollowed. Like, he should have so many more viewers. It really upsets me.
Oh wow, okay.
He's very good at the game, but just like the way he streams, it's very engaging and like positive, and he's got a real smooth way of like talking as he goes. It's one of those things where you're watching somebody with great talent. You're like, why is this not massive? Like, why is this not so much bigger than it is? Right. Anyway, so I digress. Between that and a couple clips, there was a recent event with, I think it was like Ariana Grande or something, and read a love letter to how the company handled it as far as an interactive concert experience.
Oh.
Where it's just like, I kind of want to have Fortnite on the hopper just in case something like that comes up, because it sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Look, and maybe that's not your taste in music, whatever, but the experience of going through that, like, I want to see for understanding gaming.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all to say, like, it brought it down, but it came from watching these streamers having just like an absolute ball, like handling it so well, like the way they were playing it, you're like, man, I kind of want to get into it. So it's almost like the anti version of what you're talking about, where you really don't want to play it.
Yeah.
So you're watching streamers, whereas I saw some streamers that I do want to play it, and now we got it back in.
Hey, there's space for both. I don't know. Like, you reinstalled everything and jumped back into your career in Fortnite. So all the best.
What's your wife say about it? That it's one of the funnier things where, in describing it to my wife, it's just, she's like, why would you just why don't you just play a game? Why would you watch somebody play a game? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Or does she like, is she kind of hipping with it?
Yeah, I don't think she thinks bad of it. Like, it's something that just kind of shrugs her shoulders. Like, I guess you could just watch, typically in Netflix, I'll always go back to like the same show anyway. Like your comfort zone, you have like a few select shows. You're like, nothing's on TV. So I'll go back to my like old stuff I used to watch probably as a kid. And so just watching something through a game stream is at least new, but it's the same zone out stuff. So she's like, yeah, okay, sounds good. She won't be there to watch it with me because she's not in that world. But she's totally like, okay, whatever. Do you do this on your podcast? I'm like, no, we do not. You do not want to see us do this. So
yeah, we played Fortnite. We got second place in duos in Fortnite, and it was the greatest the second greatest achievement. The first one being actually winning Apex Legends.
Yeah.
By doing nothing. We got carried so hard on that.
We were part of a team, and we were part of that group homework, and we helped in that. By standing by and letting him do his thing. So,
and we talked to minor call out to anybody listening. If anybody wants to hop on a stream, I think Jeff and I would like to start getting into some game streaming. This is not going to be, we're not going to be A-list number one streamers, but at the same time, I think if we can get some games going between gaming dads, it'd be kind of fun to meet up with. If it was Fortnite, if it was Apex Legends or something, like have a dad team. Yeah, just people. Just us being real embarrassing and having a good time.
Yeah, as long as you're up for just having fun and there's no skill set here on some of these games.
Hey, if somebody wants to carry us to some victories, so be it. But just as long as they don't expect anything from us, we're no good. Let's be real clear.
And we need to take credit. We need to claim victory on those wins. Okay, so
need some screenshots
if we're good with that.
Now, let's wrap up the show quickly. You had created a bit of a stir on Twitter by posting mac and cheese flavors, and like the flavors you picked, like the one I'm showing on screen at the moment is, so for people who don't know, Kraft Dinner, which I believe is in the States. So again, we're up in Canada. I believe United States has Kraft Dinner though. Up in Canada with Kraft Dinner, KD mac and cheese, they introduced flavor shots, or what they call flavor boosts. I think this was a Canada only thing, and it was wild.
Oh.
I'm talking. It was the one you had there was poutine.
Mm-hmm.
So you sprinkle some poutine on it. The most you run through how this all came to pass, because the stuff you went through was sort of, it was just bonkers.
Yeah, we saw this in the grocery store. We took the family out grocery shopping, and it was just these, again, flavor packets that kind of look like the stuff that you put on popcorn. So you know how there's different flavors that you can put on popcorn, like ketchup and stuff. So it was just ridiculous, and they were like 50 cents. They were probably trying to get rid of them, saying, no one's buying these things, please take them. And there's a bunch of flavors. So we got cotton candy, poutine, and then I think there was jalapeno and butter chicken.
Okay, see now jalapeno, absolute 1,000%. Like totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally tracks.
Right. It wasn't ridiculous enough. That's why we didn't pick it up.
It's just like cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
What in blue blazes?
Oh.
So describe how that went down for you.
Cotton candy. The kids were ecstatic to try this thing. My wife put the powder in, and this thing turned, honest to God, it was an ungodly pink. It was like fluorescent glowing pink cotton candy mac and cheese. And
Lord.
the kids were all excited to eat it. One, my youngest, took a big bite. Daddy, this tastes like death.
What a great pull! You said it tastes like death. God,
it was just horrible. It was like the worst thing. You're talking about like a counter beer where I have to pour this down the drain. They didn't even eat it. It was It was a one bite mac and cheese, and that's very hard to do with mac and cheese.
Jeez.
So
Cotton candy. The comments on the post, like from Cosmo at Cosmosis42, COSMOSIS42. God have mercy on your soul. This is some of the most horrendous tasting stuff I have ever eaten. Last LMAO.
Yeah, completely believe him.
And then Garrett Elliott responds, and that's at GarretTelliott. Garrett Elliott. It's like, wait, was it good? Jeff says not. Puke emoji face.
No, absolutely not. Do not get these. Even your kids will not eat these. I don't even think a wild animal would eat this. It would probably be just a deterrent.
There might be crimes against humanity involved. Like you might get your kids taken away.
Do not get it. We did it for fun. It was not fun. So
hey, we did it so you didn't have to, and much. What else could we provide except such a service on the show? Wrap up the beer. So unfortunately, Jeff, we know very much you're feeling on.
Yeah, no more words from me on this one.
Yeah. The pumpkin ale from Lake of Bay Brews. Unfortunately, a miss. The Tales from the Patch pumpkin porter from Big Rig. Very interesting. If you want to kind of dip into the season, this is an excellent entry to it. It's honestly just a really great porter. Bit of a pumpkin taste.
Nice.
And,
okay.
Hey, Gaming Dads, you have any beer selections? I will say again, we received a few. It's been really hard to find them. Yeah. I've checked a couple stores around a few times, and I get the feeling this is a hyper local thing, but we'll keep on trying, because if we can get some recommendations on the show as we do a few weeks here, pumpkin beers, we absolutely will.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us this week. This has been New Dad Gaming. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us at New Dad Gaming on Twitter, as well as from our website, newdadgaming.com. If you want to hook up with us for a game online, we can try to do some streaming, become number one streamers on Twitch together, get a couple of wins on Apex Legends, Fortnite, whatever it is. Reach out to us. Love to hear from you. You can get us either on Twitter or from an email on the site. Other Gaming Dad stories, beer picks, anything else, we'd love to hear from you. Really enjoy interacting with other Gaming Dads on all these networks. For the podcast itself, if you enjoyed listening, it would really help us out, and we'd really appreciate it if you subscribe and leave a comment on any of the podcasting networks. It really helps to promote the show and boost us in ratings to get out to as many Gaming Dads as possible. You can find that on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, any of the major podcasting networks. It'd be greatly appreciated. As I said, until next week, this has been New Dad Gaming. My name is Trevor. I had a delicious pumpkin beer. Didn't kill myself skateboarding. So far, no mac and cheese flavors. And I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. My pumpkin beer is gone. Just not
Down
in
the
my
drain.
mouth. Yeah. And I have, played some Fall Flat. I'm going back to that to see what my kids are doing in it. But I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old. And just because you became a dad
Doesn't mean it's game over.